So I was driving home from grocery shopping today, and there was a panhandler at the side of the road, and there's some thoughts that occur to me, such as what's the mentality of someone who's in that spot, as well as the level of desperation. And I'm reminded of something that is really key to money. And it may sound simple, but it goes much deeper than you might think. And that's that desperation doesn't pay. One of the best books on the topic of money that will help reprogram your mind, and I've read many, but one of the best ones, if you already have some level of training in money and abundance thinking in general, would be Dan Kennedy's No BS Wealth Attraction in the New Economy. Now, with a title like that, you might assume it's about something else entirely, but the entire book is about wealth magnets, and there's many principles in there, some of which I've referenced in past podcast episodes, and I wholeheartedly recommend that book. But one of the things I realize, I've been approached by people before that want to do business with me. They're looking for anything to do, and that's not always convenient for someone like me. Yes, there's always stuff going on in my business, but if I want someone to take over social media, for example, I got to train them and how that's supposed to happen. Now, of course, there's going to be people with a certain degree of competency and experience and skill in that field already, but the vast majority of people are still going to require a little bit of here's our brand, here's what we want to post, here's the frequency, here's what should happen, here's how we want to distribute our content more broadly. And without that type of direction, they're not going to succeed. We don't have a reason, or we simply wouldn't want to keep them on our staff for no reason. If they're not going to do a good job, if they're not going to elevate our business, if they're not going to help bring in customers, why would we keep them on staff? It doesn't work like that. The world of business is cold. The way it works is, if I'm not making money off of you as an employee, I'm not keeping you. That's just how it is. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to hire willy-nilly. So this whole idea of desperation doesn't pay. I think a lot of people are sort of in this mindset that, the only reason I don't have what I want is because I haven't asked for it. And yes, there is something to that, right? It is a biblical principle. If you don't have, ask. It's because you haven't asked, and you got to keep asking and asking and knocking on doors until you're blue in the face. Yeah, but you think about panhandlers, and it's you're asking money from people who are in a variety of situations. Some of them are house poor. Some of them are carpool poor. Some of them might actually be wealthy and rich and well off. But in an economy like this, if your expectation is that people have thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars saved up in an inflationary economy, I think in vast majority of cases, you're wrong. And so the only thing missing from you getting what you want is asking for it. If you're asking for something for free, that's just not going to ring true, right? If it were me, and if I were in a desperate financial situation, here's what I would do. I would prioritize reaching out to 5 prospective clients every single day. I would hang my shingle, and I would start my business, and I'd probably do something like content or web design or graphic design. Maybe those jobs will soon be extinct and no longer applicable in the modern world because of AI. But for the time being, people are still looking for experts to handle different stuff. And if that wasn't the case, then people would be laid off in droves, which again, that could be coming, but hasn't happened yet, right? So over the course of the year, I would have reached out to well over 1,500, 1,600 prospective clients if I prioritized reaching out 5 every day. When people might go why 5? You could do 10, you could do 30, you could do 80. I'm not coming from desperation. I'm coming from, there's a lot of people out there that may need my services, and the right fit is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for just anyone. Even if I am desperate, I'm not looking for clients that are just going to be nothing but pains in the butt. If you're spending all your time hustling and reaching out to 100 or 200 people per day, well, it's being seen by the universe, even if it's not being seen by anybody else. And the universe is perceiving that as desperation, unless you're not coming from an energy of desperation. But if you're coming from an energy of desperation, the universe is going to sense it and not going to reward you for all that effort. You'll make a couple $100 here and $100 there, but you're not going to hit it big. You're not going to have a good, sustainable business where new clients regularly come in to support it. So it's the same thing with anybody desperate to make money right now, right? And this goes for anyone that's on Facebook or on the streets asking for a handout. And I'm not criticizing anyone. I hope you understand that. Like, I'm not here to make light of the poor. I've done some humanitarian work. I've supported some humanitarian work financially, and I intend to continue to do that on a larger scale. So I'm a big believer in doing right and doing good for humanity. And I've given tons and tons and tons of money over the years. But desperation doesn't pay. You know, that's not the thing that's standing between you and the abundance you're trying to create. It's not desperation. Asking for clients or asking for business or asking for opportunities maybe, but not desperation. Desperation doesn't pay. It moves money a little bit here and there. Sometimes people feel sorry. Sometimes they're like, yeah, you know what? I was in your situation. Here's $10. Sometimes it moves people, but for the most part, it doesn't. Like, your conversion rate is pretty bad if you're out there trying to get money through desperate means. So really stop and think about that. What sort of energy are you coming from? Are you coming from a place of abundance, regardless of what might be happening in your bank account? Or are you coming from a place of desperation because you're worried about going broke or losing your house or losing your car? It's sort of the worst time to try to make things happen, even though it might seem like the best. Like, some of us need a fire lit under our butt, or we just wait until things get really bad. But desperation is only going to move a little bit of money in the grand scheme of things. If you want to pursue abundance, then know that opportunities are unlimited. It's coming up fast and there's no time. Clean Slate 2024 is coming up fast, February 16th in Victoria, BC. You don't want to miss out on this incredible live music and multimedia event with a dosage of inspiration to light you up creatively and to have an amazing 2024. Once again, that's Clean Slate. You don't want to miss out. Go to davidandrewweeb.com and you'll either have the option to get updates, win tickets, or buy tickets as soon as they go on sale. So once again, I invite you to go to davidandrewweeb.com and get your tickets right away. See you there.